The hunter from the sky. The sky was dark. Clouds moved fast, like something was coming. Something big. In the middle of the forest, a group of humans ran. Their feet hit the dirt hard. They were scared. They didn't speak. They only ran. Behind them, something followed. She was tall, over 8 feet. Her body was built for hunting. Strong arms, sharp eyes, skin like silver stone. Her long black hair was tied back with the bones of her prey. Her name was Veraka. She came from the stars. Her kind believed in one thing: strength. And the best way to show strength was to hunt. Humans were easy prey. Slow, soft, afraid. Her people called them ground meat. Veraka didn't just kill. She enjoyed the chase. She studied each target, watched them panic, listened to them beg. Then she ended them fast, with one strike from her sharp blade. The forest held the smell of blood. Not old blood. Fresh. A teenage boy tripped on a root. He screamed. His father tried to help him up. Veraka moved fast. 2 steps. A leap. Slash. The father fell. The boy cried, shaking. Veraka stood over him, her blade ready. But then she turned away. She only killed the ones who fought or ran. The weak were no sport. The boy lived, but the scream echoed. Far away on a hill, one man watched it all. His name was Rain. He wore a brown coat and old boots. His face had cuts and dirt. He didn't blink. He didn't shake. He didn't even move when the father was killed. He had seen it before, too many times. Veraka was not the first of her kind to hunt on this planet, but she was the most cruel. Rain didn't hate her. He studied her, followed her for weeks. He wanted to understand. Why did she kill like that? Why did she smile after the hunt? His town was gone. His brother was taken. Rain was the last one. But he wasn't scared. He had a plan. Veraka cleaned her blade. The shine of blood disappeared fast. She looked around. No more runners, only trees and silence. But then she felt something. A pair of eyes. She turned and saw him, just standing there. She stepped forward, slowly, like a panther, ready to strike. Rain didn't move. Veraka tilted her head. Her glowing eyes looked at him. He looked back, calm. Most humans cried by now, or screamed, or ran. This one didn't even blink. She took another step. Rain still didn't move. He said, "You missed one." Veraka's hand gripped her blade tighter. "What?" "Me," he said. "I'm still standing." Veraka walked closer. The wind moved through the trees. Birds stopped singing. She was now face to face with him, towering above. Her face was cold. No emotion. "You're not running," she said. "No," Rain said. "I've been waiting." "For what?" "For you." Silence. Veraka stared deep into his eyes. She saw no fear, only something strange. Purpose. She could have killed him in 1 second, but something made her stop. Who was this man? Why wasn't he afraid? Veraka lowered her blade just a little. "You think you're different?" she asked. "No," Rain said. "I know I am. You think you can fight me. I'm not here to fight." "Then what are you here for?" "To teach you something," he said. Veraka laughed, a sound like metal breaking. "A human. Teach me." "Yes." She took a step back, curious now. No human had ever said that to her. "You're brave," she said, "or stupid." "Maybe both," Rain said. "But you didn't kill that boy earlier. He was weak." "No." You hesitated. Veraka didn't answer. Rain smiled. "You're starting to feel something." Veraka's face turned hard again. "You talk too much." "Then kill me," Rain said. He opened his arms. "Do it." But Veraka didn't move. She looked at him again. Then she turned and walked away. Rain watched her go. He whispered, "Now I know. You're not just a hunter." The man who didn't run. Varaka returned to the high mountain, where her ship slept like a beast. The stars above were clear now. No clouds, no wind. It was a night of silence. But inside her chest, something was loud. A heartbeat, not hers, his. She remembered his face. That human. Rain. He didn't cry. He didn't run. He just looked at her like she wasn't a monster, like he saw something else. That feeling stayed with her, and it made her feel weak. Varaka didn't like that. Her people trained her since childhood. They told her, never feel, never stop, never question, kill or be killed. But now her hand still held the blade she didn't use. Why? Why didn't she kill him? Down below, Rain walked through the ashes of a dead town. The houses were broken, fires long gone. Everything smelled like old smoke and sadness. He entered a small house, or what was left of it. The roof was missing. The floor cracked. But on one wall, there was a photo, dusty but still there. A boy, a woman, and Rain. His family. Gone. He sat down, lit a small lamp, pulled out a notebook. In it were drawings of Varaka. Maps. Patterns. Notes. He had watched her for 67 days. From the shadows. From trees. From rooftops. He knew how she moved. When she hunted. Where she rested. He knew everything, except why she didn't kill him. And now, that question burned inside him. Flashback. Months ago. Rain held his younger brother's hand. They were hiding in a warehouse. Varaka walked in like a storm. Soldiers tried to fight. They died fast. Rain and his brother ran. But they weren't fast enough. His brother fell. Rain screamed. Varaka stood over the boy, then turned away. Same as now. Back then, she left the boy alive. But someone else didn't. A drone fired. The warehouse exploded. His brother never got up again. Since that day, Rain stopped believing in luck. He believed in purpose, and his purpose was her. Back to now. The next morning, Rain walked through the open land. No cover, no trees. He walked like bait. He wanted her to see him again, and she did. Varaka was standing on a cliff, watching the land below. And there he was again, walking, not hiding. She leaped down, silent as wind, landed 20 feet from him. He stopped. "You follow death," she said. "I follow answers," Rain said. "Then you follow the wrong one." "Maybe, but I'm still here." Varaka circled him, like a lion. "What do you want from me?" she asked. "Truth. Truth is pain. I already live with pain." Varaka stopped. "You confuse me, human." "Good," he said. "Then maybe we're both confused." "You are prey," she said, "but you act like predator." "And you are a killer," he said, "but you act like someone who's tired of killing." Her blade twitched in her hand. Her eyes narrowed. But she didn't strike. "You think you know me?" she asked. "No, but I want to." Varaka stepped back. She had never heard those words before. No one wanted to know her. They wanted to escape her, or stop her, or fear her. But Rain, he wanted to understand her. They sat by a small stream. No fight, no blood, just the sound of water. Rain took out a small book, drew something, passed it to her. She looked. It was a sketch of her, not scary, not evil, just real. "Why draw me?" she asked. "Because something in you is still alive." "I am alive." "No," Rain said. "I mean the part that feels." Varaka looked at the drawing again, then closed the book. "My people will see this as betrayal." "Then let them," he said. "They will hunt me. Then we run." She laughed, a small one this time, not sharp, not cruel. "You're insane." "Probably." Night came again. Rain lit a small fire. Veraka sat across from him. Not close, not far. She didn't sleep. She didn't need much. But she watched him. He looked peaceful now. Eyes closed. Arms crossed. How could a man who lost everything still sleep like that? How could he still trust her? Veraka looked at her own hands, hands that had ended so many lives. What was she doing? Why was she sitting here, by a fire, with a human? Her people would call her broken. But for the first time, she didn't feel broken. She felt free. Morning light touched the hills. Veraka stood first. "I will be tested," she said. Rain opened his eyes. "By your kind." She nodded. "Then we stand together," he said. "No," she said. "You should run." "I won't." She stared at him, then walked close. Close enough to touch. "Then you're more than prey." And for the first time ever, she spoke his name. Rain. The question she never heard. Veraka stood at the edge of a wide valley, watching the wind dance across the tall red grass. This world was strange. Humans had turned its soil into dust. Their machines had failed long ago. Now only silence ruled the land. Except for the fire that burned inside her chest. Something was changing. It wasn't her body. It was something deeper. And it started the moment Rain asked her a question no one ever had. "Why do you hunt us when you could know us?" That question stayed with her like a wound that wouldn't close. Before sunrise, Rain sat beside the ashes of their last fire. He was sketching again. Lines on paper. Soft, careful. His drawings weren't perfect, but they were alive. He was drawing her face again. This time, he drew her eyes looking away. Not toward prey, but toward the stars. He looked up and saw her watching. "You never sleep," he said. "Hunters sleep with one eye open," she replied. "Maybe that's the problem," Rain said. "You never dream." Veraka tilted her head. "Dreams are for prey." "No," Rain said, still drawing. "Dreams are for the brave." Veraka said nothing. But she sat down across from him. For the first time, she wanted to listen. Flashback, years ago. Veraka as a child. On her homeworld, younglings were taken at age 5, trained with blades, fire, and cold stone. Veraka had no toys, no family hugs, only bruises and commands. "Kill the weak," they told her. "Never cry," they warned. "If you feel anything, burn it." She once found a bird with a broken wing. She hid it under her bed, fed it crumbs, warmed it with her breath. But the next day, her teacher found it. The bird was crushed in front of her. Veraka was punished for weakness. Now, with Rain in the valley, she told him that story, her voice low. Rain listened, didn't interrupt, didn't try to fix it. He just sat in the silence with her. Finally, he asked, "And you never felt anything again?" She looked at him. "I buried the part that felt," she said. "It made me a better killer." "But it also made you alone," Rain said. She didn't answer. She didn't need to. Later, they came across a broken building. It looked like it was once a school. Inside, walls were covered with faded paintings made by children. Stick figures, blue suns, names written in shaky hands. Veraka walked through the empty rooms like a ghost. She stopped at a small desk. On it was a book. Broken pages. A storybook. She opened it. There was a drawing of a monster, scary and tall. But in the end, the monster made friends with the children. It was a silly story. Soft. Hopeful. But Veraka held the book for a long time. Rain walked beside her. "You know," he said softly, "you don't have to be who they made you." She looked at him, and for the first time, asked a question she never dared ask before. "What else can I be?" That night, they sat again under the stars. Rain finally asked her the question again. The one that haunted her. "Why do you hunt us when you could know us?" Veraka stared into the fire. And then, she said the truth out loud. Because I was told humans are weak, she said. Because killing was easier than thinking. Because I was afraid. Rain blinked. Afraid. Vereka's voice shook. If I ever stopped, I wouldn't know who I was. Rain leaned closer. Then start now. Stop. Let yourself be something new. She looked up. But what if I can't? Then we'll figure it out together. Suddenly, a sound echoed in the night. Beep. Beep. Rain jumped to his feet. Vereka's face turned cold again. She touched her wristband. Glowing red light. A signal. Her kind had found her. They were coming. Vereka stood tall, blade ready. But Rain didn't move. You have to go, she said sharply. No. They'll kill you. Maybe. But I won't run. Why? She asked. Why not save yourself? And then Rain asked her a new question. Would you really let me die now, after all this? She froze. She couldn't answer. Because deep inside, she knew the truth. She couldn't let him die. Not because of duty. Not because of honor. But because she cared. In the distance, 3 alien hunters walked toward them. Armor shining. Weapons ready. One of them, Jalin, was her old rival. Strong. Loyal to the code. Vereka, he shouted. Step away from the human. Vereka stepped forward instead. Rain looked at her. What are you doing? Something I've never done, she said. I'm going to disobey. Hunted by her own. Vereka stood between Rain and the 3 hunters. The wind blew through the empty field. Dry grass moved like waves. The sun was red, low in the sky. It painted her silver skin in gold and shadow. But inside her, everything felt heavy. For the first time in her life, she was about to fight her own kind. They had trained with her, eaten with her, survived battles together. But now, they had come to kill her. And she knew why. Jalin, the lead hunter, stepped forward. His armor was dark gray with red marks, the sign of a first-rank blood warrior. His face was hard, eyes sharp. His voice cut the air. You broke the law, Vereka. You spared prey. You sat beside it. You spoke to it like it mattered. He raised his blade. You are no longer one of us. Vereka didn't flinch. Then I never truly was, she said. Rain watched from behind a rock, but he wasn't hiding. He was watching the face of a woman who had once hunted him. Now, she was standing between him and death. And she didn't blink. Jalin barked a command. The 2 other hunters moved fast, circling Vereka. They moved like wolves, trained, perfect, silent. Vereka dropped her shoulder and stepped back, her blade drawn, eyes scanning. This wasn't a game now. This was survival. The fight began. The first hunter lunged. Vereka blocked the strike and kicked him hard in the chest. Armor cracked. He fell back. But the second came in behind her. His blade sliced her arm. Blood, silver blue, splashed the dirt. Vereka hissed. Pain flashed through her, but she didn't fall. She turned, grabbed the second hunter's arm, twisted, and threw him to the ground. The first hunter rose again. Her foot caught his leg, and he collapsed. 2 down, but not broken. Jalin waited. He wanted to face her alone. He wanted the others to weaken her first. Now, it was time. He stepped forward, slow, calm. You were the best of us, Vereka, he said. And I still am, she replied. They clashed, blades singing. Metal hit metal. Dirt flew. Sparks lit the air. Vereka fought harder than she ever had before. But not for pride, not for glory, for choice, for freedom, and for the human watching behind her. Jalin was strong, stronger than before. He landed a blow to her side. Her ribs cracked. She fell to one knee. He raised his blade to finish it. But suddenly, Rain shouted, Vereka. She looked up and saw him running toward them. Not away. toward danger. Her eyes widened. Rain grabbed a rock and threw it, hit Chelin in the helmet. The blow didn't hurt, but it distracted. Just enough. Vereka rose. One final move. She twisted under Jalen's arm, pushed her blade up, and sliced his side. Not a kill. A warning. Zalin dropped his weapon. Blood dripping, he looked at her. You fight. For them now. No, Vereka said. I fight for myself. Silence fell. The two other hunters stood slowly, their eyes on Vereka. They didn't attack again. Zalin nodded once. Slow. Tired. You are lost, he said. They will come for you. Vereka looked him in the eye. Let them come. Zalin turned, limping. The other two followed. They disappeared into the trees. Rain ran to Vereka. She was bleeding, shaking, but standing. You're hurt, he said. Not dead, she replied, almost smiling. Why didn't you kill them? She looked at her hands. The blade, the blood. Because killing is what they expected. Rain helped her sit. For the first time, she let him. They sat by a stream that night, the sky full of stars. Vereka cleaned her wounds in silence. Rain made a small fire, boiled water, gave her herbs to chew. These help with pain, he said. Vereka chewed without comment. For a moment, they didn't talk. Then she spoke. Do you think I'll always be hunted? Rain looked at her. Maybe, but you don't have to be alone anymore. Her face was quiet, thoughtful. I was raised to believe humans were weak, she said, but I've seen your strength. Rain smiled a little. And I was told your kind had no heart, he said, but I've seen yours. Later, when the fire died low, Vereka looked at the stars again. So many stars, so many lives. How many had she ended? How many more would try to end hers? She didn't know. But tonight, for the first time, she didn't feel like a hunter. She felt like something else. Maybe something better. Blood and mercy. The sky was quiet. Too quiet. Vereka stood on a wide cliff, the valley far below glowing in soft orange light. Her body was healing, but the wounds still hurt, inside more than outside. Beside her, Rain sat near a small flame. He wasn't talking this time. He was just present, like he understood this was her storm now. For days they had been walking together, hiding, watching the skies. But now, the signal came again. A challenge, a call, a message from her people. Come alone, or the human dies. Rain had told her not to go, but she had already made up her mind. That morning, she left before he woke. She didn't leave a note. She knew he would follow. And somehow, she wanted him to. Hours later, an ancient battleground. Dust blew across the broken stones. Burned flags still hung from rusted poles. This was a place of old wars. And waiting in the center, wearing the black and crimson armor of the honor guard, stood the one who sent the message, Koran. Vereka knew him. He was once her commander, her teacher, the one who first put a blade in her hand. Now he stood with 10 soldiers behind him, and a drone camera floating high above. We will show the galaxy what happens to traitors, Koran said. They will see you kneel. Vereka stepped forward, not afraid, not even angry, just ready. You used to be the best of us, Koran said. I still am, she replied. Then prove it, he said. Kill the human. Behind the soldiers, Rain was on his knees, bound, blood on his shirt, bruises on his cheek. They had found him. Vereka's hands tightened into fists. Let him go, she said. Only after you kill him yourself, Koran said. In front of the galaxy. Show them your loyalty, your strength. A second drone floated closer, streaming the scene to all who watched. Warriors, civilians, other species, planets. This was a test. This was a trap. They handed Vereka a blade. She walked toward Rain. Every step felt like fire. He looked up. His face wasn't afraid. He just whispered, "You don't have to." She didn't answer. Her hand held the blade. She stood in front of him. The camera watched. Coran watched. The soldiers aimed their weapons. "Do it," Coran said. Varaka raised the blade. Time slowed. Her whole life passed before her. Training, killing, silence, orders. And then, his voice. "You don't have to be who they made you." Her hand shook. And then, she turned the blade and threw it straight into Coran's chest. Chaos. Blasters fired. Vareka pulled Rain to his feet and used her body to shield him. A soldier charged. She dropped him with one punch. Another fired. Rain ducked behind the stone. Vareka rolled forward, grabbed a fallen blaster, and shot two more. Her own kind. Her own blood. But now, they were the ones without mercy. And she was free. The drone still floated, still streamed. And now the galaxy saw something they had never seen before, a blood-born alien warrior fighting to save a human. Minutes passed. The fight ended. Some soldiers ran. Some lay broken. Coran was dying, his eyes wide, full of disbelief. Varaka stood over him. He gasped, "Why? Why him?" She looked at Rain, then back at her old commander. "Because he saw me." And with that, Coran's eyes closed. Later, in a small cave, Varaka cleaned her wounds. Rain handed her cloth, water, and herbs. Neither spoke at first. Then Rain finally asked, "Why did you really save me?" Varaka stared at the fire. "Because I couldn't watch another part of me die," she said. "You've changed," he said quietly. She looked into the flames. "Maybe I was never who they said I was. Maybe I just forgot." The next day, ships began arriving in orbit. Messages filled the airwaves. Who is the traitor alien? Why did she protect a human? What happens now? The world was watching. But Varaka no longer cared about what they saw. She only cared about what she had become. That night, she sat beside Rain, both watching the stars. Neither hunted, neither feared. She asked him, "If they come for me again, will you run?" Rain looked at her. "No, I'll stand with you." She nodded slowly. "Then I won't run either." And for the first time, in all her years, she smiled. The last hunt. They came just before dawn. Not with shouts, not with fire, just the cold silence of warriors who knew how to end lives without sound. Vareka woke first. Her eyes opened like the switch of a blade. Her body still sore. Her ribs still bruised, but her senses sharp. She stepped out from the cave where she and Rain had spent the night, and saw the figure standing just outside the shadows. Talon. She didn't need to see the face to know. His height, his stance, his calm. He hadn't changed at all. But she had. Talon had been her friend, her sparring partner. He once saved her from a fire on a mission deep inside a broken ship. They had eaten together, trained together, survived together. But now he wore the black and silver armor of a cleanse, a warrior sent to erase those who had broken code. He was here for one reason, to kill her. Vareka stepped forward. Rain moved behind her. He saw the shape of the man, the weapon in his hand, and the sharp glow of his eyes. "Stay back," Vareka said softly. Rain didn't argue. He knew this was her fight, and not just any fight, the last one that mattered. Talon's voice came like ice. "I didn't want this." "You still came," Vareka said. "You killed Coran." "He gave me no choice." Talon took one slow step forward. "You loved the hunt, more than anyone. What happened to you?" "I found someone who made me question it. A human." Vareka didn't answer. She didn't need to. Talon's jaw clenched. He looked down for a second. When he looked back up, the sadness was gone. Only duty remained. I asked for this task, he said, because I wanted it to be me. Why? Because if someone else did it, they might not do it clean. They circled each other, like wolves, like memories ready to die. The wind moved between them like a whisper. Varaka raised her blade. So did Talon. No more words. Just two warriors who once bled together, now ready to bleed for the last time. They moved. Metal hit metal. Their blades crashed like thunder, sparks flying, dust rising. They moved fast, no wasted motion. Each one knew the other's steps, counters, tricks. This was not just a battle. This was a story being torn apart. Varaka struck high. Talon blocked. He spun and swept low. She leaped over it. He kicked her midair. She slammed into a rock. Pain burned her ribs again. Blood in her mouth. But she rose. Talon's eyes showed no hate, just sorrow. You could have been a legend. I still can, she said. Just not your kind of legend. She charged. He caught her by the arm. They fell together into the dirt, struggling. Dust flew. She pushed off, flipped, landed hard. He rolled. Blade ready again. Rain watched, heart pounding. He wanted to run to her. But he knew, if he did, she'd lose focus. And if she lost focus, she'd lose everything. Varaka started to slow. She was tired. This wasn't like the others. This wasn't a kill-or-die fight. This was personal. She didn't want to kill him. But he wanted to kill her. They clashed again. Talon landed a hard blow to her shoulder. She dropped her blade. He kicked her back, stood over her, raised his sword. I'll make it quick. Varaka looked up, breathing hard. You don't have to. His hand shook. You betrayed us. No, she said. I chose something better. They'll never forgive you. Then let them remember me as someone who changed. Talon froze, blade still in the air. His eyes searched hers, and he saw it. The truth, the pain, the freedom, and the peace. A long silence. Then he dropped his blade. Rain gasped. Varaka slowly stood. Talon turned and walked away. No words, no goodbye. But in that silence was mercy. Later, at the fire, Varaka sat with her hand wrapped in cloth. Her shoulder hurt with every breath. Rain passed her water. You didn't kill him, he said. He didn't kill me, she answered. So what now? He asked. Varaka looked at the stars. Now, she said, we tell the galaxy who we are. Rain nodded. And who is that? She turned to him, eyes calm. Not hunters, not prey, just survivors who made a choice. And far above them, the stars blinked, as if watching, as if waiting for what would come next. She who chose peace. The sky was clear that day. Not a single cloud in the wide expanse above. The world below was still, peaceful, waiting. Varaka stood alone on the edge of the valley. Rain was beside her, but she didn't feel alone anymore. They had made it through the storm, the battles, the choices, and now, in the quiet of the valley, something new was beginning. In the distance, ships from all across the galaxy were arriving, not to fight, not to conquer, but to witness. This was the moment that would change everything. Varaka's heart beat steady as she watched the ships land. She knew what would happen next. The galaxy would watch. They would see a warrior, a killer, who had chosen something else. A choice to stand with a human. A choice to change the future. To choose peace over violence. Rain stood beside her, eyes on the ships. You ready? He asked softly. Varaka turned to him. Her eyes had changed. No longer cold. There was warmth now. Ready, she said. The leaders arrived first. They were alien, human. All species from the galaxy came to see this moment. Some came with their armies, others with their words. But no one spoke first. Everyone waited. Finally, the first to step forward was General Sara, a tall, armored female with silver skin and black markings. She was from a distant star system, a proud leader known for her strength. She had once fought against Varaka's people. Now she stepped forward and looked at the woman who had changed everything. "You are the traitor," General Sara said. Varaka didn't flinch. "Yes," she said quietly, "but now I am more than that. You betrayed your kind. You betrayed your honor," Sara continued. "What do you want from us?" Varaka looked into Sara's eyes. "I want nothing," she said, "but I offer everything." "What do you offer?" Sara asked. "Peace," Varaka replied. There was silence. The galaxy held its breath. The crowd was tense. They had come to see an end, an execution, a battle. They had come to see justice. But they didn't see that. They saw a choice. A warrior standing tall, bruised, broken, but alive. Someone who had chosen peace over blood. Rain stepped forward beside her. "We're not here to fight anymore," he said. "We're here to build something." "What can we build from this?" Sara asked, her voice unsure. Varaka stepped forward again. "We build a future where we stop hunting each other," she said, "where we learn instead of destroy, where we fight for life, not death." The crowd whispered. The leaders looked at each other. For the first time, Varaka wasn't alone in the decision. Someone stood with her. Rain, a human. Someone who had seen her as more than a killer, who had helped her find the courage to stop. The leaders gathered in a circle now. They talked, debated, but the decision was coming. Finally, General Sara turned to face Varaka again. "You have shown us something we've never seen before," she said. "You've shown us that mercy can be stronger than war." The others nodded. Some had tears in their eyes. "Maybe you are right," Sara continued. "Maybe this is the way forward." The galaxy was watching. On screens across worlds, in every home, the moment was live. They saw a warrior who had once killed for sport now standing for something different. Something new. Varaka had done what no one thought possible. She had ended the cycle. She had chosen peace. The leaders agreed. There would be no punishment for Varaka. No punishment for the human by her side. Instead, they would be the first to build a new alliance. An alliance based on peace, on understanding. Varaka wasn't just a traitor anymore. She was a symbol. And together, Varaka and Rain would show the galaxy that even the darkest warriors could find a new path. A path of hope. The crowd finally erupted into applause. It wasn't for victory. It was for the beginning. Varaka and Rain stood side by side. Their hands weren't stained with blood. They weren't bound by the past. They were free. Later that night, as the stars shone above them, Varaka and Rain sat together by the fire. The galaxy felt different now. War had been replaced by silence. Peace wasn't just a dream. It was now their reality. "Do you think they'll remember us?" Rain asked softly, looking up at the stars. "Not as we were," Varaka replied, "but maybe as we are now." They both sat in silence, watching the stars. There was no need for words now. The universe was watching. And they knew, deep down, that their choice, this moment, would be remembered forever.